actually get to see it instead of just miss it and hear freaky noise.
First message from...
I don't know how hey, wait, what?
Ian, can you send me copies of any
Oh yeah, I was like, I don't know how I almost missed that, but that was a completely different room.
Harlan is supposed to be updating me daily.
I'm gonna walk around in the dark. Cause that's how us real pros walk around. We walk around with the lights off. We can talk to that guy later. I'm gonna look around first. Okay. Okay, it stopped moving. I was about to say, that is perpetual motion. That is not possible. But what is it? My friend Popey alerted me to the perfect machine, actually. It's the idea. Okay, you have 2 electric magnets, right? They're going around a generator. Or a coiled copper wire. What is it? You can use offsetting these 2 slightly and amping them up with like a few seconds of power, that these things will start pushing themselves around the magnet or the metal coil, and it'll eventually technically produce its own energy enough to give it itself, to power itself completely. But the thing is, the stronger it gets, the more it's going to be able to spin and pump out power that it's not using, that can be in turn stored in a battery. So if you can create a giant version of this, then technically, and refine it a lot after using a whole bunch of other stuff, technically you have a great infinite source of energy. But the thing is, it's not going to be patented anytime soon because of the fact that how absolutely perfect it is, that you're going to push so many companies out of business. And that'll lead me to another thing I'm about to explain too, why we can't have the gasoline companies pushed out of business, unfortunately. But what is it? So, okay, anyways, in theory, you could make a whole bunch of generators, right? A whole bunch of these generators, and they're producing your energy. But what is it? You could, since you technically have an unlimited supply of energy, you can make giant platforms that are hovering in the sky via, like, helicopter propellers. And you never have to worry about energy because you're constantly pumping out energy. So, you have sky platforms now.
He's over here!
That are pumping you out infinite energy, so you're completely safe here. Why did that just go through? That's cheating. Anyways, they're pumping you out infinite, and see, I'm trying to get so ahead of myself, but I know you're getting the basic concept. What the crap? You're getting the basic concept, pretty much, of infinite energy, the perfect machine. And what is it? It's actually extremely simple that you could yourself at home make it. And so you're just like, wow, I don't realize I'm confused why someone hasn't made someone who has the technology hasn't made this before. Because what me and my friend posted but you can actually go to his house. And he has the supplies just to make a miniature model of it that works. We'd have to have a couple of capacitors and a way of storing the energy for it, so that would be like the hardest part of finding someone like rechargeable batteries. No, it wouldn't be that hard. We'll just use rechargeable batteries thing. And what is it? It's that idea that, and have the rechargeable battery also powering it, but recharging it at the same time. So it's just that concept that you have infinite energy. That I don't know why oil companies themselves haven't monopolized off of it and stopped using oil. Because what is it? That also led to another thing of me and my other friend, William, having a giant conversation about teleportation. Alright, it's a grand idea. You don't, there's so much stuff you just don't have to do anymore. If you're thinking of teleportation, in seconds you're there to where you want to be. It solves your problem overall. Yes. But the thing is, if you no longer need cars, then you most likely no longer need gasoline.
Get to cover!
for
Cover me!
cars, because cars are obviously gasoline's biggest usage. And if you no longer need cars, then everyone in the car business is out of a job. So you're thinking, oh, that's just a couple hundreds and thousands of people. So you've got, yeah, they could, all those people who worked in the car industry and oil industry would be still have jobs, but it wouldn't be quite as big. But what is it? Yeah, all those people would be, would you just move over to the other industry of, the teleportation industry. Problem solved. What is it? Then you have your convenience stores and your gas stations. Okay, all those places are made for a car. If you don't have a car, or anyone that's going to stop, because why are you going to need to stop by a convenience store at that point ever again? I mean, a convenience station is just because you're in a car and you need gas and you wouldn't mind having a Hershey's bar while you're driving all the way to Miami, Florida from Mobile, Alabama. So, that's the entire concept of those. And see, now everyone that has a gas station or works at a gas station is immediately put out of business and has to find a new job. Not only that, but you've got your automobile technician who work on automobiles. They're already put out of, business. But you're always gonna have your handful of select few that are gonna, car collectors that are gonna always collect cars. And cars themselves wouldn't completely be outdone, but it's just the idea. If teleportation were to be real, it would put so many things out of business. And our economy relies on this stuff, because you're talking like, seriously, you're gonna cut, I'm going with 25% of the economy's, way of generating money just out. Like, we could no longer use that way of getting money. So, that, and you're thinking, yeah, they could all go work for the teleportation industry when it got big and boomy. But the thing is, it's the transition of that happening that's going to be so unstable that would probably keep us from having teleportation in the near future. Not only that, but also the concept of teleportation itself. Man, I should have brought a drink into this because I'm talking more than I thought I would.
Looks like he's heading for the executive building.
But it's also the concept of teleportation.
She might be able to help us figure out what settled that.
You can look at it as two ways. You can look at it as, it's breaking all your individual particles down and reforming them somewhere else. Well, the fact is, it would pretty much have to be destroying you, and you'd have to be like reformed, like a vat of elements together. You're not technically being copied into a new body. Like, the idea of the particle one that most people think of is what you'd have to do is you'd have to rip a hole in this dimension, assuming the dimension, ripping holes in dimensions would be the way that you would teleport. But you would have to rip a hole in this dimension. And not only would you have to do that, you'd have to also rip a hole through the hell at the same time. And when you do that, make sure these two holes connect to each other. See, that would be one of the bigger things that you would have to figure out. But not only that, but there's the other thing is, what happens if two people were to teleport at the same time? See, now, you could technically, since you're coming in and out of this dimension, you could technically, if you were to do it at the same time, you could both walk into each other. Then the atoms would overlap and it would cause a catastrophic explosion. Because the atoms overlap each other. And that would be a bad thing. So, there's just so many things that just fall into why you can't have certain things. It's obviously well within our abilities, and right now, to technically be able to do it. And I'm not saying that countries like Britain, Germany, and the US, and all those other ones that have